as well to your friends. So, how are we going to discuss first yung mga frontrunners ng Miss Universe Philippines this evening? So, initially, I thought that isang pasada lang. Iisa-isahin natin yung, yung tawag ito, yung mga girls that are more likely going to win from the least to the most expected. However, with the new chichis and mga chismis with regards to how the selection process for Charm and Super is going to unfold, I think it is much better that we make some changes in how we unfold yung mga frontrunners, because what I'm going to do is I am going to list down a couple of names that I think would be best for the three titles, as well as the most likely and the dark horse na candidate for that title. Okay? So let's start first with this Charm International. Sa pantaha ko, I believe that Pauline Amelinckx is more likely the girl for that title. I believe that Pauline has the charm, has the face, has the communication skills that could lead us to another high placement in the Vietnam-based na pageant. Um, her height is 5'6". She's one of the most improved na girls when it comes to her pasarela, when it comes to her performance. And I think that if we consider yung physicality niya, the only thing that I would want is to make her, to learn her angles, so that yung medyo muscular niya na katawan, yung pagiging big bone niya is ma-minimize through making angles and photograph beautifully by learning which are her best poses. Kasi I think yung criticism lang sa kanya is yung katawan, all aspect na na gina-judge siya on the pageantry na system. I think yung weakness niya lang is yung physicality. However, if we consider all other aspects, I think she's one of the most superb na mga candidates. That's why I think that she is best for Miss Charm International. She has a very friendly face. She has a very very come hither na aura. I think it will be something that would be her advantage if she is going to compete in Miss Charm International. Another girl that I think that would be a possibility, the underdog na possibility, the dark horse for the Miss Charm International na pageant is actually CJ Opiaza. I don't think that a lot of people are looking at her for the Miss Charm International na pageant, because a lot of people are thinking she might be better off with with Supra. However, I think with CJ has that ability to fit into the mold of the Supranational na pageant, but at the same time, I also think that she would be a good, good alternative for the Miss Chart International. I think that CJ, with her very long limbs na asset niya, you wouldn't think that she's only 5'6". She's actually, hindi siya yung katangkaran actually sa mga pageant girls this year. A lot of the girls actually in Miss Universe Philippines and Binibining Pilipinas are not at the 5'7", 5'8", 5'9" na very tall na mga girls. A lot of the girls are actually naglalaro lang doon sa mga 5'5", 5'6" na height. Majority of them are actually on that same height level. Hindi nyo napapansin that actually CJ is at the same height as Pauline Amelinckx because of her body structure. In terms of her proportion, CJ actually has leaner and more elongated na proportions. That is why a lot of people think that she's around 5'8" or 5'7" at least. Now, bakit ko nakikita si CJ as a possible dark horse for the Miss Charm International? CJ knows how to work the stage. I think that is very much apparent sa lahat ng mga pageant fans. And I also think that si CJ has that very strong na dating that I think ma-appreciate ng mga pageant fans who feel that there is a need for stronger technical na capabilities. If we are going to send a follow-up to Annabelle McDonald at Miss Charm International next year. So, I know that CJ is not the typical girl na naiisip ng mga tao for the Miss Charm International na pageant, but I do think that she has potential to fit into to that pageant. When she was at Binibining Pilipinas, may certain charisma si CJ na hindi madalas nakikita ng mga tao, and I think if you observe her much closer and better, she has that kind of rapport with people. Next, for the Miss Supranational na tawag ito na title, I actually have two girls in mind. The first girl that I have as my most likely girl for Miss Supranational is actually Krishnah Gravidez from Baguio. Krishnah stands 5'8". She has very good proportions. Ang haba din niyang tignan. I think that in terms of physicality, wala kang magiging problema because she is, I believe, one of the most beautiful faces, most interesting faces in Miss Universe Philippines. Among the candidates, I actually feel that Krishnah Gravidez has the more commercial appeal, has the more international appeal as compared to, let's say, Pauline Amelinckx or any of the other pretty faces in the batch. I do think, however, that the Waterloo that Krishnah needs to really hone on and focus on is the speaking ability. She can speak, but I think that there needs to be more weight in the way that she tackles, issues, and there needs to be more, or rather, she needs to have a stronger grasp on topics that might be thrown at her come finals na interview or finals na Q&A. However, if you look at presence, if you look at face, if you look at body, if you look at height, I think Krishnah is one of the girls that is high above in terms of that aspect. In terms of yung listahan ng mga girls na pwedeng manalo ng Miss Supranational, I think Krishnah is one of the girls na top of mind when it comes to that pageant. I do not, however, I don't have information, however, if how prepared is she in terms of visa-wise kapag siya ang nakoronahang ipapadala sa Miss Supranational. I do hope that she and her team are very prepared should it come to the point that siya ang makoronahan or siya ang ma-appoint for the Miss Supranational, because I think may laban si Krishnah. The other girl that I think would be neck and neck when it comes to the Miss Supranational title, I would think that I would give that placement to Klyza Castro. Klyza is one of the girls na matangkad, marunong magsalita, has great body proportions, mahaba siya tignan. If Krishnah is 5'8", Klyza is 5'9". In terms of yung speaking ability, wala ka ring wala kang maipintas din kay Klyza. And I think among the candidates this year, siya yung pinaka-overall na strong on all fronts. Not necessarily na siya yung top of mind mo when it comes to pasarela, in terms of face, in terms of body and stage presence. But when it comes to yung average na, batting average niya on all different aspects of the competition, nangingibabaw siya in most aspects. However, in certain aspects, I think that there are other girls na mas malakas yung stage presence, mas maganda yung mukha, mas may commercial appeal yung kanilang facial beauty. Some other girls are better communicators like Pauline Amelinckx. I still think that in terms of face, Krishnah Gravidez is the most interesting facially in the batch. So, doon lang nagkakaroon ng parang backseat si Klyza in terms of yung certain very specific na mga aspects ng competition. However, when it comes to the overall na average batting average siya on all different aspects, I think palaban din naman si Klyza. I also think that her experience, yung transformation niya when she was mutya ng Pilipinas in 2019 versus yung improvements niya ngayon, I think yung physical transformation niya is much more welcome sa ngayon. My only thing that I need to point out with when it comes to Klyza is her styling. Si Klyza, kung minsan may mga hair and makeup siya na hindi bumabagay dun sa outfit and vice versa. And I think that she needs to nail that aspect of the competition dahil kung siya ang ipapadala sa Supranational, she only has very little time to iron things on the wardrobe styling na department. However, physicality in terms of potential, nakikitaan ko si Klyza as the potential na Miss Supranational Philippines. There are actually 3 girls that I think that would fit the Supranational na mold. Nabanggit ko na si Krishnah, nabanggit ko na si Klyza, and the third girl, the most popular girl that people and fans think of when it comes to the Supranational title is actually Emmanuelle Vera. Emmanuelle Vera is 5'5". She's a third runner-up placer in Reina Hispano-Americana. So I am thinking that in terms of yung capability niya to deliver on stage, to deliver in terms of communication skills, she is one of the best girls that could be potentially be sent to Supranational, to Poland. I think it's in Novi Sachs again for this edition. So being a well-traveled na girl, I think that she has Schengen visa, so madali siyang ipadala sa Miss Supranational if siya yung mabigyan ng pagkakataon na lumipad for that competition. I think that the advantage of Eman is not only experience, but international experience at that. Kasi if we are going to contrast yung experience, pageant experience ni na Klyza and Krishnah, walang-wala yun compared doon sa international na experience ni Emmanuelle Vera. And another thing that I also like about Emmanuelle is that she also has a very strong na team supporting her, behind her. So wala tayong magiging problema sa pag-mount ng kanyang campaign. I think that she is the most mentally well prepared for that pageant dahil yun yung ini-aim niyang crown. From what I've heard, I think that hindi tayo mapapahiya kung si Emmanuelle yung ipapadala natin doon sa competition. If you look at Emmanuelle, she has very good proportions. It doesn't show that she's actually 5'5". Maganda yung proportion ng kanyang katawan, very long and lean siyang tignan. So and also this is also a shout out to her styling team because she never looks short or unproportioned based on the way that she is she is being dressed up. I think yun yung kagandahan ng katawan ni Eman. So, in terms of those 3 girls, I think that the girl who is going to nail the finals competition much better come finals on May 13th siya ang maaaring ipadala doon sa international competition happening later this July. Now, bago tayo lumuktaw doon sa mga favorites, doon sa mga ladies that I think that is going to be the contender for the Miss Universe Philippines title, I also would want to include um, Klyza Castro as a dark horse for the Miss Universe Philippines na title. Again, as I said, in terms of yung overall na average, batting average ni Klyza, I think she is one of the better positioned girls na ipadala sa Miss Universe Philippines, sa Miss Universe later on this December sa El Salvador. That being said, let's now move on doon sa dalawang girls that I think is going to be best choices for the Miss Universe Miss Universe Philippines na title. Now, um, bago tayo jump into that, I just want to remind everyone that I will be reading your comments a little bit later after I've finished yung dun sa frontrunners na nasa listahan ko. Okay? So, let's continue muna. As I said earlier, Klyza is one of the better girls overall na girls in terms of skill and capability and potential. I think that among the girls, she is one of the girls na well packaged and overall strong on all levels. Now, in terms of the two girls that I think na pinaka most likely na maglalaban for the Miss Universe Philippines title, I have Michelle D for obvious reasons. I think that she is the anointed one this year. I think that she is the one most likely going to win come May 13 na finals. She's tall, she has the pedigree, she has the background. In paper, siya yung pinaka perfect na fit in terms of yung resume niya for the Miss Universe na competition in El Salvador. I do, however, want to stress that I think Michelle needs to learn to be more flexible, needs to learn to be more diverse and uh, malleable. Ayan. When it comes to her facial expressions, because when it comes to her photos, she's a one note samba, and I think that's one of the things na hanggang ngayon hindi pa niya na perfect, and with her inability to be engaging in terms of the way her photographs register, her videos, video interview register on videos. I think yun yung mga area na alam niya na kinakailangan niyang pagtuunan ng pansin, na kinakailangan niyang ayusin. Because in terms of yung height, in terms of speaking ability, I think very passable si Michelle when it comes to her ability to talk. And when it comes to her height, I think she's one of the taller candidates this year, standing at 5'10". And she also has international pageant experience, which is going to be very helpful for her when she's competing, internationally. Uh, this is one of the things na hindi mo pwedeng basta-basta na lang isnabin when it comes to looking at the pageant resume of the girls, because more and more girls nowadays have international pageant experience backing them up whenever they compete at the Miss Universe pageant. So, mas kadalasan yung mga girls who have international experience or local na or national na mga experience na multiple pageant experience in their arsenal, sila yung mas may konfiyansa, sila kadalasan yung mas may ibubuga at the international competition, especially one as competitive as the Miss Universe pageant. However, I do not also discount the fact that there is one other girl that I think is going to be a thorn, in Michelle's side, and that is Samantha Panlilio, who is the most consistent girl uh, from the get-go, from the beginning of the competition up until now. When you look at Samantha in her OOTDs, the way that she presents herself to the public, the way that she's dressed, the way that she's styled and made up, the way that she communicates in her video interviews, in her official photographs. Siya yung pinaka wala kang maipintas because a lot of the things that she's been doing so far has always been nailing it on the head. Kumbaga, siya yung pinaka dependable among all the girls when it comes to delivering the goods at the moment that you want, you want these girls to be delivering those goods. In fact, I was able to watch a video by the Sovereign, Davona, who mentioned that among the girls in Miss Universe Philippines this year, si Samantha yung pinaka-tinik sa lahat ng mga girls na aiming for the Miss Universe Philippines na crown. And I agree with her assessment because looking at the way that Samantha has been rolling out her campaign, wala kang maipintas, wala kang masabi with regards to the way that she delivers in crucial moments of the competition. She's very engaging in her interviews. She rarely takes a very bad photo in any of her glam shots. Even yung hindi kagandahang anggulo na sineselect ng pageant to publish for her swimsuit na pictorial, because I've seen other photos that's been released na mas maganda yung anggulo. I think Samantha keeps on nailing things consistently throughout the challenges that is thrown at her. It's not a it's not a secret that she's not the tallest among the candidates. She's only 5'5". Yes, we know that. However, if people are more open to give someone a chance, like let's say Pauline Amelinckx for the Miss Universe title, who is only 5'6". Anong difference niya when it comes to Samantha, who is just an inch shorter? Also, we have to remind ourselves that a former Miss Australia who was only 5'4" made semis in Miss Universe in I believe in 2021. So height is no longer pretty much an issue in participating in making semis at Miss Universe nowadays. So I don't think that we should be taking that against her, especially now that mas inclusive na ang Miss Universe pageant ngayon, especially when they remove the minimum height requirements. So, what makes Samantha Panlilio a possible winner in Miss Universe Philippines this year is that one, she's consistent, two, she's relatable, even if she speaks very fluent English. She was educated and lived in the US, in California. She still manages to be relatable, to be amiable, to be personable whenever she talks to people. And I think that is one of the things na nagustuhan ko sa kanya when she even back when she was in Binibining Pilipinas, because Samantha was not a personal favorite of mine, but she grew but I grew attached to her because of her very warmth na personality. And I think that it would be an injustice if Samantha does not even make top 5 at Miss Universe Philippines this year, because among all the girls, siya yung pinaka-consistent and siya yung wala kang makikitang butas when it comes to her campaign. Now, with regards to the 3 girls that I think na pwede nating asahan na maging Miss Universe Philippines, I think that Klyza Castro is the least problematic because as I said, overall strong siya on that level. Kumbaga, when it comes to body, face, communication skills, stage presence, she ticks off those boxes, spectacularly. However, when it comes to yung delivering of goods consistently, I think Samantha has that path down. kumbaga siya yung pinaka-prepared, siya yung pinaka wala kang maipinta sa the way that she rolled out her Miss Universe campaign. However, I think that the Miss Universe Philippines na crown is actually Michelle D's to lose if she does not deliver on the crucial moments of the competition. And I think yung very wobbly niya na presentation nung sa Boracay na na event nila, I think that should have been something that she should have polished at this point in time of her pageant campaign. Marami sa mga girls this year sa Miss Universe Philippines with the likes of CJ Opiaza, with Krishnah Gravidez, who are very strong in terms of their pasarela, in terms of their presentation skills. Hindi dapat magpapetics, pumetics si Michelle because may mga candidates na kayang makipag bagdagulan sa kanya. Again, as I said, this is a crown that is Michelle's to lose if she does not deliver on the very crucial moments of the competition. Another thing that I'd also, want to think as a possible girl for the Miss Universe Philippines is Pauline Amelinckx. However, if I'm going to look at overall, uh, appearance, overall capabilities for the Miss Universe Philippines title, I think nangingibabaw pa rin sa akin sina Michelle D, si Samantha Panlilio, and Klyza Castro as my dark horse for the title. So there. I hope na klaro natin yung